Hey, Lalone Top 10s here. A soldier's life is a practical one, with gear designed to match. When we imagine warriors, whether modern or ancient, we think of gear designed for function and not form. But throughout history, symbolism has held a powerful place in our cultures. This is reflected in armor from ages past that portrays otherworldly creatures, folklore or exaggerated features to make the wearer an object of fear. Sometimes for show, sometimes for survival. So these are the 10 of the most fantastical pieces of armor ever crafted. We're going to start off with number 10 with the Maximilian I's Frogmouth Helmet. Alright, unusual informant name, the Frogmouth Helmet seems to be the most impractical helmet possible. The lower front plate was curved upward and protruded, which provided its signature look. With only a narrow slit to see out of, this helmet provided no peripheral vision. It was routinely bolted in place, so there was no ability to move at the neck. What's more, the wearer couldn't see forward unless he was leaning ahead slightly, making it a pretty dangerous helmet to actually wear, because he might bump into a whole ton of things. So, heavy and unwieldy, this helmet would have been the death sentence on most battlefields. But it was used almost exclusively in a different sort of combat, jousting. Alright, this was an ancient extreme sport where two horsemen charged at one another with lances. That sounds very dangerous. Do not try this at home. The goal was to dismount the opponent while not being dismounted yourself. In this environment, the Frogmouth helmet exceeded. It's like a peripheral vision was, in fact, meaningless, because knights jousted in straight charges at their opponents. Also, the helmet's odd shape helped to repel lance blows instead of absorbing them. The Frogmouth helmet shown above, on theirspurs.com, where I got this, was used by Maximilian I during a jousting tournament to celebrate his wedding at Ansbruck in Austria in 1494, in fact. So, a masterful example of the Frogmouth helmet, it was created by famous armorers Lorenz and Gork Helmetschmann. Alright. Number 9. The bearded parade helmet of Charles V. Like his grandfather, Maximilian I, Charles V appreciated outstanding armor. From his boyhood on, Charles possessed many beautiful pieces of armor. Through most were symbols of his wealth and power, not used in actual combat. One piece in particular stands out. A parade helmet was created by famed Italian armorer Filippo di Caroli. While allowing the wearer's head to be completely enclosed, this parade helmet featured golden curly hair and a matching beard, and ensured a good hair day for any discerning Holy Roman Emperor. The helmet was done and has not survived completely, unfortunately. The opening now present in the upper face would have included an additional, but now missing plate. Bad news. Number 8. Mask visor in the form of a human face. For about 30 years between 1510 and 1540, popular fashion in Germany and Austria included helmet visors sculpted to look like humans, either for a frightening or very punning effect. It is hard to say which effect Coleman Helmetschmann was going for when he created the helmet pictured above on listverse.com, which we'll all try to provide the link down below. Perhaps he was trying to outdo the look of his glorious rump armor. The helmet depicts a mustached man, mustache, with bug eyes, and a smashing nose. Visors like these were mostly for pre-Lent festivals. This is before March, and were designed to be exchanged for more traditional visors during the everyday use of the helm. So just remember. Number 7. Wings of the Polish Hussars. The winged Hussars of Poland were one of the most effective cavalries the world has ever seen. Alright? Now, for nearly 2 centuries, or 200 years, they won battle after battle, often against seemingly impossible odds. In one such case, 200 Hussars successfully defended a city from a force of 30,000 in 1581. Sweden's King Karl X Gustav said, "If I only had some 10,000 of such soldiers, I would have expect to easily conquer not only the Ottoman Empire, but the entire world. In other words, Turkey. One of the most fascinating facts about this elite cavalry was that they were, in fact, winged. Dyed eagle, ostrich, or crane feathers were affixed to a decorated wooden baton, then attached to the hussar's backpack, giving him his signature wing. There has been much debate over the function of this piece of equipment. Some suggest it was a noise-making device to rattle enemy horses not accustomed to the sound. Others believe it was a protection against lassos used by Asian horsemen. Still, the most prevalent theory is that it was simply an intimidation tactic. Their seemingly invincible horsemen were clad in feathers and wings, giving them the air of otherworldly attackers. Interesting fact of the day. Number 5. The face guard of King James II. The Royal Coat of Arms has been created in 1399, during the reign of King Henry IV. It has been used by the British royal family ever since, although some have used it in more interesting ways than others. King James II, who was crowned in 1685, had a Heraclizer's armor commission, included a breastplate, backplate, long gauntlet, and a pot helmet as the centerpiece of the set. The helmet displayed the royal coat of arms, with a standing lion and unicorn immediately in front of King James II's face. This set of armor was bulletproof, so you can expect no guns are going to destroy it. Well, aside from the whole sentence fascinating face guard, of course. It was commissioned for £100, so just think about that for a moment. Number 5. The armor garniture of George Clifford. If we know nothing else about George Clifford, we know that he was a man who didn't mind being noticed. He was appointed as champion for Queen Elizabeth back in 1590, and he incorporated her into his armor as much as possible. Alright, his suit of steel and gold armor was decorated with the tutorols, the fleur-de-lis, and the cipher of his queen, or notes 2 E's back to back, so you can tell that. Though George Clifford did see battle, most famously perhaps was his capture of a Spanish fort in San Juan in Puerto Rico. This armor was designed for terminal use, guys. Just remember that, okay? Number 4. The gifted horn helmet of Henry VIII. This has got to be the most famous one on this list. This iron helmet was one part of an entire suit of armor, originally gifted to King Henry VIII by Maximilian I back in 1514. Today only the helmet survives, though. However, its freakish horn experience has caused much confusion over the years. Originally, it was thought to have belonged to King Henry VIII's court jester. This makes sense as the helmet depicts the Fool, a popular character in court pageants, complete with wrinkles, dripping nose, and stubble. Scholarly debate over the nature of this gift still rages, and we're all left to wonder what the rest of the set may have looked like. Alright, so I guess. Number 3. Lion's Head Salad. We don't know who made this helmet or who wore it, but we do know what inspired it. The Nemean lion's demise was the first of Hercules' recorded exploits. Though no weapon could penetrate the lion's hide, Hercules strangled the legendary animal to death, and then wore the beast's skin as a mantle. Naturally, anyone would be keen to channel the story, which was often seen in Renaissance art as a signal of strength, courage, and perseverance. So this helmet was created to intimidate the mythological hero's victory. The underlying helmet was plain, but the top layer was a gold and copper lion, sure to inspire friends and frighten enemies in equal measures. Interesting. Number 2. The Manicalara Cabutos. Alright, a Kawari Kabuto was a popular style of helmet used by high-ranking samurais between 1467 and the beginning of the Tokugawa shogunate in 1603. These personalized helmets frequently depicted demons or fierce animals, and were used to distinguish generals from their lower-ranking inferiors. Though a staple of the ancient Japanese warrior for centuries, the kabutos have outlived their military usefulness. Now they're surviving traditional Japanese wisdom and everyday sayings. One such saying is, tighten your kabuto after winning. This warns not to rest too soon after a victory. Take off the capato is a sense that means to surrender or suffer defeat. Alright, we finally go on to number 1 with the Batman. If a samurai would cover himself in terrifying representations of folklore and nature, he would naturally want the same for his horse, the Batman, or horse mask, and Bagel, the horse armor. These were used by samurai after the 17th century, which is also after the 1600s. The armor was crafted from many small tiles of leather and gold that were sewn into cloth. The mask was made from boiled leather that was then shaped into the likeness of a horse or dragon's, complete with horns, scales, and fiery red nostrils. The entire battle-ready horse and rider conveyed the owner's prestige and power. Obviously, guys, that is it. If you have any other armor that I did not mention in this video that you haven't heard about before, just let me know in the comments down below, okay? Okay, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and see you guys next time in another awesome Top 10. Take care.